All right, thank you so much for joining this session. It's delayed. And because this talk is about visual storytelling, and you were promised some photos and videos, of course I have to start off with a little video. My journey began deep underground, in a world hidden from view, where strange sounds fill the air. I've clumsily scrambled to the depths of caves to uncover the secrets of some incredible creatures. It's here, in the dark, amidst the quiet echoes, that I've seen a world teeming with life. Thousands of bats call these caves home, each playing a vital role in maintaining the health of our ecosystems. Although many people are afraid of them, I think bats are fascinating. My work with bats has spanned several years and countless hours spent over a little makeshift sample station, collecting important information from bats before safely releasing them back to their home. I've trained in different methods and worked with diverse species, all in my quest to understand these animals better and protect them for the future. But now, my work isn't just about bats. It's about our connection to nature and our responsibility in protecting it. My name is Mariette, and I'm a scientist and a storyteller. Join me in protecting our planet's biodiversity. Right, so I was not always a science communicator. Before this, I was a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Pretoria working at the Center for Viral Zoonoses. And for a week, every month, this was my life. We did a lot of field work, and these are just some pictures to capture the work that we did. So we would get to site, which is the top left picture, and there would be absolutely nothing. And we'd get there with 2 vehicles loaded with equipment, and within 30 minutes we would have a mobile field lab up and running with a working centrifuge and everything. We'd then have to put on our hazmat suits and go into the cave to catch bats. Or alternatively, we'll stay outside of the cave and wait for the bats to come to us. We'd then catch the bats and put them in these little cloth bags, which you see hanging on the clothes rack, where they're waiting to be processed. And then we'll do various scientific things to them, like taking swabs, taking blood, taking their body measurements, and then we'd end off with giving them a microchip, which is that picture on the right-hand side. I'm scanning to see if the microchip is in the bat, and then we would release them. So no bats were harmed in the making of this video or this footage. And now at this point you might be thinking, okay, that's cool and all, but what does any of this have to do with scientific communication? Well, the point is, if I didn't take any of this footage or any of these videos, the only evidence of any of this work would be this. A single scientific paper that covers 2 years of hard work. And like Chris from Cape Labor Trust said earlier, who even reads these things? You know, not even the scientists. Many scientists are going to read this. So it's really important when doing research to take other evidence of your work rather than just the data. It's like the meme says, pics or it didn't happen. So when we're talking to people about our science, they don't want this high-level scientific jargon or the very technical details of your data. They want to see pictures and they want to relate to your work in that way. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So as scientists, I think that sometimes we think that science communication has to be this very formal process where you sit down and you have to produce, something and say, oh, hey, I communicated science. But actually, most of the time, it can just be a conversation with someone that you meet in a social setting. So I'm an introvert. I don't go to many parties. But when I do, my go-to party trick is to take out my phone and say, oh, hey, this is what I do when people ask me, oh, so what line of work are you in? And it's a hit every single time, especially when I can say, oh, look, these are different species of bats, and those that you see on the left and right-hand sides are actually baby bats clinging to the mothers. So that little pink object, that's a little baby bat. And so someone who has never seen a picture of a bat can now actually say, oh, hey, I've seen them and I know what they look like. So oftentimes when I'm doing science communication workshops, I'll get this question of, what gear should I use? Do I need a fancy DSLR camera in order to take nice pictures? And at some point, I did a science journalism course, and the presenter said, you know, the best camera to have is the one that you have on you. And all of us here in this room probably have a smartphone, and it's honestly the best tool that you can have to take pictures while you're busy in the field. I did this talk at my university a while back, and the one old professor in the back was like, I don't have a smartphone, and he pulled out this tiny little Nokia 3310 or something, I don't know, but I think most of us here, we do have smartphones, and all of the pictures and footage that you saw in the video that I did and the pictures are pictures from my smartphone. I also have a long-suffering GoPro that has been dropped down into the cave many times that I had to scramble after, but you honestly don't need sophisticated equipment to do this. You also don't need high-tech editing software to make something exciting. I've had several conversations with people here, and Canva is like one of the top things that people like to use and enjoy, and it's really easy. For video editing, you can use DaVinci Resolve because it's free and it's easy to understand. And for image editing, you can use Krita. That's also a free software that is available. So why do you need photos and videos? It takes time away from the research, is something I often hear. I don't have time to take extra pictures and videos while I'm working, but the value of these pictures and videos might not be immediately apparent, but later on, when you want to do a social media post, when you want to show someone at a party, you can remember, oh, hey, I took that picture, I took that video, and I can use that in this instance. And it's widely applicable. You can post them on Facebook. You can do a little article on LinkedIn and use your picture. You can use them in PowerPoint presentations. So it's really valuable to have those things. Another piece of advice I would give to scientists when I'm speaking to them is not to get stuck. I think as scientists, many people are raging perfectionists. I know I am. And it's so easy to get stuck in the trap of, oh, I can't use this because it's not perfect. Or what will people think if I show them this picture? That's not National Geographic quality. And I think as scientists, it's trained into us to have this like fear of critique. You know, you get your scientific paper back and it's filled with comments that tell you this is not good enough. Get over that fear because, you know, it's really valuable. I saw this quote that says, if you're not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you've launched too late. And that's from, I think, the founder of LinkedIn. And that really resonated with me. So, okay, thanks. But if you do have those pictures and you have those videos, they are valuable and you can use them later on. I also recently thought that, well, if I can't film bats in the wild, because I don't have a lot of footage, what else can I do? Hey, I can make little cartoon videos, and I can start a YouTube channel. And I have 24 followers, so, you know, autographs afterwards if you do want them. But my point is, don't get stuck on just one thing. Innovate, try new things, don't be scared to try new things. And if the biggest introvert can do it, then so can you. Social media can also be quite intimidating because you think, oh, my video only got 2 likes or 3 likes. What's the point? But I recently did a workshop that said we shouldn't get hung up on vanity metrics or likes, because they're linked to things that are trending and cool right now, but there might not be a long-term impact with these metrics. So if we chase likes, we risk our content being shallow and only relevant for as long as the trend is cool. So we should rather focus on the real-world impact that we have, and it takes time to generate meaningful connection with people and with your audience. And you should rather be measuring your content in things like, oh, could I inspire a young person to be interested in science? Can I empower a community by showing them representation in a traditionally male-dominated field, you know? Can I teach my grandfather something that he didn't know that he can then share with the other people at the care home? So these things cannot necessarily be measured in metrics, but the impact can still be really profound. And the key is just to stay consistent with whatever it is that you are pursuing in your science communication journey. So I hope that I can leave everyone here feeling just a little bit inspired and give you that little push that you need to start your own science communication journey, whatever that might look like for you. And it's important to remember that it's not just about communicating the science, it's about protecting our natural world for the generations to come. And by integrating media into our work, we ensure that the excitement and the significance of the work reach beyond just the academic boundaries and foster a much deeper connection between science and society. So thank you so very much for coming to my talk. And if you scan the QR code, you can get my contact details, and I'm really happy to connect with anyone to chat about science communication or bats or whatever you feel like chatting with me about. Thank you so much.